Brooke, Jenna, and Rayanne are nominated for eviction, but who will win the golden power of veto? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake 7 Chocolate Heaven. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 7 Chocolate Heaven. It's day 54 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week Kennedy is the head of household. She nominated Brooke and Jenna for eviction, and Willy Wonka nominated Rayanne as the third nominee. But who will win the Golden Power veto? We'll find out shortly. But first, this veto competition, Mr. Bingo, was very long and very complicated, but I want to thank everybody for playing. It ended up being, I would say, a success. I want to thank Curtis for being the middleman. And yeah, we're going to get to the results real shortly. I will say that the Golden Power Veto ceremony tomorrow is going to be a wild one because Bridget has to use her Pooh Brown Power Veto. Javier has the Ruby Power Veto, which he could use. And then there's, of course, the Golden Power Veto, which somebody's about to win. And with only 8 house guests left in the game and 3 nominees, like, anything can happen. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. So definitely tune in for an interesting episode tomorrow. Speaking of that, I do want to say that there was a discrepancy that somebody brought to my attention in the Golden Power Veto competition. And it's that I forgot in the rules, but it was predetermined. I did forget in the rules to say that when you call out bingo, you have to indicate which of the 3 cards you have a bingo on. Just like if you're at a bingo hall, if you say bingo and the dude comes over to check your bingo, you're not just going to be like, yeah, here are all 12 of my cards. You find it, bitch. Like, you got to show the person where the bingo is. So it was a rule that you have to declare which of your 3 cards has the bingo. And in the last round, as you're about to find out, this actually kind of came into play. Luckily, the person was nice about it. I didn't say the rule in the rules, but I had been following that rule all along, and I think it was common sense. So the person who lost in the end was nice about it, unlike people who wrote me letters in previous seasons. And so I think everything was fair overall. Heartbreaking at the end for the person who lost, but fair. Okay, so that's the veto discrepancy. There was somebody who, this happened on Friday, but obviously there hasn't been an episode in a while because of Extra Whip. There was somebody on Friday who sent me this message, obviously asked me not to say, but in the DR this person said, and I quote, "Everyone in this game is banned from using the word gaslighting. Please tell them in the episode. I am going to pull out all my hair," so it's not Owen, "and it's going to grow back and be completely gray. Where did you find these people?" So this person wants the word gaslighting banned. I have no power, but I'll be honest. Gaslighting is a very, I don't want to say broad term, but everybody's definition of it could be slightly different. So I totally get why this person is annoyed with the fact that gaslighting is being used all the time. Because generally speaking, if you act like a good person, nobody can accuse you of gaslighting. But the line is so blurry, I find, with that word. It's kind of the same thing with racism. I mean, some of the comics, like Dave Chappelle and, what's the other one's name? The guy from Brampton, Russell Peters. You know, their jokes, you can argue, are racist, but then there's the whole, well, they're comedians. Don't they get a bit of a thing? And where's the line? And this, that, and the other. So the line is blurred with that word, but I just thought that was funny that this person mentioned that to me. Okay, and that they were pulling their hair out. Last but not least, before we get to the results, for the second time in Big Brother Cheesecake history that I know of, last night, one of the alliances remaining in the game, and there's only, I think, 3, had a call to talk about strategy on the call. Now, when this happened last season, it was the Savers with Kate Lee, Amethyst, Brooke was on the call, and I think Jonah. and they made the enlightening decision to vote out Jit and keep Steven. Jit and Steven were the nominees. They decided to vote out Jit and keep Steven, so they had a lump on a log, and they had an evil genius, and they voted out the lump. So I'm like... So I was sitting there going, wow. This call, on the other hand, nothing chaotically terrible was discussed, and also I don't think there were any genius decisions discussed either. It was all strategy. It was all very interesting to watch, and thank you for making it and allowing me to be a part of it. But of course, I'm not going to say which alliance or how many people or any of that, because that would be not nice of me. Okay, so I think we can get into it now. The Mr. Bingo competition, it went well, but I will say when it came to the Mr. Universe portion, I was really disappointed with the pictures. This was the weakest collection of Mr. Universe photos there were. A lot of shirtless pics, and a reminder that Mr. Universe is not a beauty pageant, it's a scholarship program. So put a shirt on, unless it's a swimsuit competition, then you can take it off. But yeah, the judges were myself, Lindsay, and G from the party that I went to on Friday night, which was a good party, but it was, I don't know, it was a little, there were only like 10 of us or so. So, you know, and there was only 2 gay guys, and they were a couple, which was very annoying. We have from season 1, Tiffany, from season 2, Joanne, from season 3, Jojo, from season 4, Brazil, from season 5, Rhonda, and from season 6, Judy. So those are the 9 judges. Okay, is everybody ready? Let's get to the results. First up is Jenna. Here is her picture. I was like, Okay, Tiffany, 810. Joanne, 8. Jojo, 866. Brazil, 870. Rhonda, 8. Judy, 8. G, 8. Lindsay, 8. Wow, this is pretty crappy. For a average of 8.11. Remember, you can't even go less than 8. Next up is Javier. I like this photo. It was not fantastic, but I like this photo. So Tiffany loved it, 9.80, Joanne 8.13, Jojo 8.78, Brazil 8.55, Rhonda 9.1, Judy 9.99, wow, G 9.25, Lindsay 9.40, yeah, 8.88, it was alright, for an average of 9.11. Oh! Javier, I didn't know you were the secret terrorist in the house. That's rude. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Javier is obviously in the lead. Next up is Kennedy. I had no idea who this was. Apparently it's a famous, like, figure skater on, like, one of those, like, what are the people that Broadway on Ice? Ice-capades. He's in the Ice-capades. Anyway, yeah, I thought, it was okay. Tiffany 850, Joanne 8.23, Jojo 888, Brazil 820, Rhonda 940, that's good, Judy 8, G 945, Lindsay 850, myself 850, average of 860. So Javier remains in the lead for this portion of the competition. Next up is Brooke. Yeah, the shirtless thing. And why are his nipples so massive? Like, did he have, like, nipple implants or something? Or injections? That's very weird. Anyway, Tiffany liked it. 950, Joanne 815, Jojo 892, Brazil 975, Rhonda 8, Judy 9, G 890, Lindsay 820. I didn't like it at all. Average of 8.67. I like how this piece of paper actually manages to fit perfectly on the screen. That was unintentional. Next up is Michael. I mean, this was a bad collection of photos, but I think this one for me was the worst of them all. Sorry, Michael. Just did nothing for me. Tiffany 830, Joanne 818, Jojo 842, Brazil 810, Rhonda 8, Judy 9, G 880, Lindsay 820, myself 8 for an average of 8.29. Okay, Javier still leads with 911. Next up is Owen with this. So Owen and I talked about it afterwards. He picked Henry Cavill, which is very hot. Aton picked him in All-Stars. I just think that there are better photos of him. I like this photo the best of him. because he's in jeans and I'm just blue jeans. Blue jeans is my thing. Everybody has a thing. Most guys it's gym shorts, but for me, blue jeans, yes. But yeah, but it was a good photo, an excellent photo, I'm not gonna lie. Tiffany, 9.99, perfect score. Joanne, 850, lesbian. Jojo, 950, Brazil, 980, Rhonda, 930, Judy, 8, lesbian. G, 9.99, that's 2 perfects, wow. Lindsay, 960, and I liked it, 925, so an average of 942. Does not beat Rhonda from Season 5 with her 958, but 942 does put you in the lead. And finally, we have Rayanne. I thought this photo was good. I didn't love it, but I thought it was good. Tiffany didn't like it, 8. Joanne, 820. Jojo, 910. Brazil, 850. Rhonda, 920. Judy, 820. G, 967. Lindsay, 880. And I liked it. I gave it a 9. So you need to beat 942. You didn't. 871. So, going into Mr. Bingo, we had in last place Jenna facing off against Michael. The winner faces Kennedy. The winner faces Brooke. The winner faces Rayanne. The winner faces Javier. The winner faces Owen, who won the Mr. Universe part. So now let's get to the Mr. Universe. So round 1 was Jenna versus Michael. Michael was at his LRG, which unfortunately he lost. I love you, Michael, though. So Jenna won by default. She actually, I called all 75 cards, and she was like, what's going on? And I'm like, just say bingo. All 75 balls have been drawn. And she finally said bingo. So Jenna advances. Jenna faces off against Kennedy. Jenna was at the planetarium, and she just couldn't pay close attention, and Kennedy did beat her. Then it was Brooke versus Kennedy. Brooke, who really wanted to play bingo. She said last season she would have won Lightning Bingo. She did win the first round against Kennedy. But then when Brooke went to face off against Rayanne, Brooke missed B1, I believe, or B8. Yeah, she missed B8, and it was called. She missed it, and because of that, Rayanne did beat her. Rayanne said her biggest enemies are... Oh, what was it that she said? Her biggest enemies are numbers and letters. And she's stuck doing this competition. Whoops! Okay, so then we have Rayanne facing off against Javier, the second seed. And this was close, but in the end, they actually called bingo very close together. Rayanne did call it first. Rayanne advances. So we were down to Owen versus Rayanne. And to make this last round tricky, it was a full card, and instead of typing in the numbers, I sent in voice memos. So for instance, N44, I17, B14. So they couldn't even visually see the numbers. They had to press play on the on each individual one. So this is where the heartbreaking part comes in. You need a full card. Owen said bingo. I asked him which card had the bingo. He said first. I knew his third one had a bingo, so I specified and said, can you send me a screenshot? Because sometimes Facebook flips it. So I thought by first maybe he meant third, because sometimes when you send in a bunch of photos on Facebook, it flips. But he sent me this screenshot. And this is the board. There's no I-22, which means Owen had a bad bingo. Rayanne, congratulations! You have won the Golden Power of Veto! You have until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to privately message me whether or not you are using the Golden Power Veto. She does, spoiler alert. And Kennedy, you have until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to privately message me the name of a new nominee and the reason why. Actually, sorry, 8 p.m. because then Bridget will have until 9 p.m. to decide what to do with the poo. So, tomorrow will be an explosive Golden Power Veto ceremony. Nobody is safe besides Kennedy and Rayanne at this point. What will happen? Find out tomorrow. Tuesday, the final 3 nominees plead their case. And we will have the rules to the next Head of Household competition. And Wednesday is the next live eviction and Head of Household competition where another house gets to be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 7 house. Get a tummy ache from eating too much chocolate. and lose their shot at the $700 cash prize. I'm Andrew Chesney who invests. Take care, and remember, want a bubble butt? Shove an arrow bar up your butt and feel the bubbles melt. Good night.